Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so for today's video, I really just wanted to visit a certain color story that I have really been drawn to recently. I'm noticing even though it's still summer, you know, we're getting some of those fall type color stories and vibes from recent releases that have been coming out. Certain colors that of course can be worn during the summer. You can wear this color story during the summer, spring, fall, whatever. But this color story for sure gives me that fall vibe, and I've just noticed quite a few of the latest releases giving me that same type of feel. Some of them might lean a little bit more of the green, gold, bricky red. Some of them are leaning definitely the green, gold, orange. And some of them are throwing in pops of purple just to kind of add a little pizzazz and give that whole Halloween vibe. But I'm like, dang, it's still summer and we already getting these palettes. But don't get me wrong, I'm sick of summer. This year, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this heat. I can't wait until it cools down. Like, go ahead, bring on the cool breezes, bring on the crackly leaves, the bare trees, honey, I'm ready for it. So anyways, I really wanted to visit this color story in my collection because I noticed I've purchased a few palettes recently, and there's a couple of other palettes where I'm like, oh, I want that palette so bad, it's so gorgeous. But I'm like, wait a minute, I just bought that color story. I already had this color story and I just purchased it 3 times already. So I just want to take a look at it and, you know, spend some time with you guys just going through the palettes that I do have in this color story and just kind of sharing my love for it, because I do. This eye look I have on today is the color story I'm talking about, okay? And I love, love, love the way this eye look came out because of that color story. Now, to start off, let's just talk about the palette I used for this eye look. I used the Glaminatrix Bonfire palette. Now, when I saw this palette, now this is like stressing me out because this palette, you know, usually these palettes have some type of magnetic feature on here that keeps it closed. Mine will not stay closed. And y'all, with my OCD-ness, this is driving me insane. But anyway, this palette here, y'all, this color story, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta have it. It's beautiful. The greens in here, the orange, and I love the fact that they added this like taupey gray section in here that really just gives the vibe of a true like bonfire. You know, you have the beautiful green, the orange, the red. Okay, I'm loving it. But if you were curious, this is the palette that I used, and I know my camera is making me blurry while it's showing the palette, but this is the palette I used for this eye look today. No, I did not record it because y'all, I feel like, I know some of y'all like tutorials for makeup and eyeshadow, but child, the numbers don't say that you do. So I'm like, I'm just going to occasionally do tutorials, but for the most part, I'm just going to talk about the makeup, okay? So this palette, this is the color story, the main reason why I wanted to do this video, because I'm like, I just purchased this color story a few times. Now, this next palette is from Question Beauty. I've never bought anything from them before, and they are quite pricey, but I really wanted to try out their formula. So I haven't used this one yet, but this is definitely coming up on my to-do list. And funny thing is, I don't even know the name of this palette. They came out with 2 palettes so far, I believe. And I have both of them. One of them is like a blue purple type vibe. And then there's this one that has like the green, orangey kind of, you know, purpley type vibe. But yeah, this color story is gorgeous as well. I can only imagine these shimmers. I saw, was it Dr. Ash in her makeup? I believe that she did a video. No, she used the purple and blue one. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. I know the quality is going to be amazing. So I went ahead and got this one and the purple and blue one. But this color story, same vibe, the greens, the oranges, the purpley pinks. And so I can't wait to try this one out because I believe it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. But these two palettes really kind of made me say, dang, okay, I need to stop buying this color story. This is it Agate or Agate Temptation from Singe Beauty, Angela Nyquist. This is from her brand and same color story, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The oranges, the browns, the greens, and this one has like that pop of yellow, and it has that really, really pretty bright green. This one here, oh my gosh, and these grungy greens, man, I'm telling you, this color story is just, it has me in a headlock, you guys. It does, but I need to stop buying it. I don't need to buy it anymore, okay? Also, she came out with this palette with Odin's Eye. I don't know if this was last year, a couple of years ago, but I never used it. Completely forgot I had it. But this is the Trick or Treat palette that she did, Angela Nyquist, in collaboration with Odin's Eye. And do we think we know what her favorite shades are? Because honestly, this palette is very, very similar. Slightly different, but very, very similar to the palette she came out with, you know, in her own brand. And I'm pretty sure the Odin's Eye palette is probably not available anymore. So this palette is great if you want to, you know, get this. I'm not sure, it could still be available because I bought some of their older palettes not too long ago. But as you can see, the color story, vibing, absolutely gorgeous. But it's just the similarities in the palette that she collabed with and the palette that she came out with. It's just like, I think we know what her favorite shades are, right? Now, another recent purchase that I made with a similar color story, not exactly the same though, but this is like absolutely one of my favorite brands when it comes to shimmers, okay? Their mattes are good too, but the shimmers are phenomenal. So this palette is from Terra Moon. Terra Moon, the single shimmer shadows I have from them are absolutely some of my favorites. But this is is it Ophiuchus? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know how to pronounce this. It looks like Ophiuchus to me. But anywho, this is the color story in this palette. So as you can see, this one leans a little more cool, not very warm. It has the greens. It has these browns, but of course it leans a little bit more kind of that orangey, warm brown right here. This one, they threw in this turquoise, which kind of adds a little bit more razzle dazzle in the mix, but same vibe, same vibe. It's just not as bright, if you know what I mean. Like if you compare it to my eye look today with the shades that are in here, it's still the green, the brown, the orangey tone, not as bright, and it is a little bit more cool tone. But yeah, it was actually a toss-up between me using the Bonfire palette and using this palette today because I love them both the same. So this is definitely up on my to-do list very, very soon. Love me some Terra Moon, okay? You guys, I had to come back. This is an insert clip because I actually remembered this palette after I had already stopped recording and started putting my stuff away. But this palette from Wicked Widow, it's the Tales of Terror, a Haunting palette. So of course it has the whole Halloween vibe and Halloween theme to it. But this is what this palette looks like. So as you can see, it still has the same, you know, orange, brown, green vibes, but it has the beautiful pops of purple in here, okay? So even though it still has the same color story, same theme, this one has a little more pizzazz to it because it has some really pretty shimmers in here that help to add the, you know, add to the color story with the purple in here. So absolutely gorgeous. These greens, beautiful, has this super dark shade here, beautiful pops of orange and bricky browns, and just beautiful. In this one, I really feel like the purple is adding so much to this color story. It's beautiful. So if you have this palette and you forgot about it, definitely pull it out. You know, we get into that time of year, but yeah, I just had to insert this clip because I totally forgot about this palette, and I was like putting my stuff away and I'm like, wait a minute, I have another palette that has the orange and the brown and the green. Okay, so anywho, let's carry on. Now I have a couple of older palettes. I don't have a whole lot of palettes really with this color story. It's not like I have like 10 or 20 or whatever, but I have enough to not buy anymore. And there's two more that I really, really want. One of them, gorgeous color story, but I kind of want to get it just to have it in my collection. And that is the Glaminatrix Grounded palette. I guess they did the Tones of Turd, and then they also did the Grounded option, which I think is the only one that was still left, if it's still available. And I've been fighting that because I know it's gonna sell out, but this is what it looks like. You know, if you have it, you already know what it looks like, but gorgeous, gorgeous palette. It's like the color story is basically the same. It doesn't have the bright oranges. It has more of the earthy, bricky brown, red type brown in it. And I love that as well. That really pretty bricky brown is gorgeous. But the beautiful greens, this one has like tans, and the shimmers of course are ridiculous. And I'm not sure, but that looks like there's a black in there. I don't know if that's a black, but I've been fighting buying that palette. I'm trying to continue to fight it. And then also Simply Posh showed this palette, okay, and I was like, immediately wanted to get it because it's so beautiful with just the beautiful greens and bricky reds. And this one has like the orangey gold tones. It's like more shades because it's 18 shades, and it really has me in a headlock. You know, it has the one row of gorgeous shimmers. I like Simply Posh's formula, but it's like, even though it's slightly different, girl, you don't need that. You don't need that. So now this palette I did purchase. I've had this for a little while, actually, the Beauty Bay Desert Haze. And while this one is not exactly along the lines of the color story that we're talking about, it's still, because they added, you know, the pops of blue. It has these two pretty pops of blue in here, but if you take those blues out, you're still getting the same green, orange, bricky red, like this is kind of like a plummy purple in here, but you're still getting those vibes, you know, same vibes of the greens, the browns, and, you know, the pops of orange. But this one, you know, it adds the little blue in there, which is a nice addition. You know, if you like this color story but you like blue too, then this palette, you know. And this I really just wanted to have in my collection. I semi-collect Beauty Bay palettes. There's certain brands that I do collect, and with Beauty Bay, honey, they palettes, if you don't buy them and they gone, okay? They gone. So that one I really wanted to grab. And then I just have a couple more. This one, an oldie but goodie, okay? The Tribe by Juvia's. Okay, this was like a OG that we fell in love with when she came out with this color story, you know, of the orange and the brown and the green tones. It's basically that same beautiful fall vibe, but it was something new and refreshing when it first came out. When she came out with this palette, it was, child, we was falling all over ourselves to get this palette and review this palette. And so I had to mention her because, you know, this was the OG orange and green, you know, and brown type vibe that, you know, most of us content creators back then just fell in love with and had to have it. Now this palette, it kind of vibes, same vibe, but it's way more green leaning. This is the Undergrowth palette from Cosmic Beauty. Another palette, when I grabbed it, when I saw it, fell in love with the color story. I think a lot of people did because it's beautiful. If you love green, and a lot of people love greens, this color story just was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have it, right? Had the pretty minty shades up top, the beautiful, like warm, earthy grungy greens in here, the bright pops of yellow and orange, you know, and then you also get, you know, the super dark shade there to play with, and the shimmers. Cosmic Beauty shimmers are just absolutely gorgeous. So it's like, I had to pull this palette. I had to mention it because it's the same vibe, you know. Maybe it just doesn't go as deep, or maybe it just, you know, doesn't have as bold of a orange or purple pop in there, but it's the same vibe, honey. Same vibe, same vibe. It's like I'm convincing myself, like, girl, don't buy that Grounded palette. Don't buy that Simply Posh palette. Don't buy the next palette that whoever is coming out with, you know, whatever brand is coming out with this color story, because obviously I'm in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. I mean, if you are not in love with these colors, child, what is happening? And lastly, now this is a brand that I don't quite often reference when I am talking about different color stories and palettes, because a lot of their palettes that I have, at least, are monochromatic, very monochromatic. And same thing with Colourpop. Colourpop has a lot of, you know, regular palettes with color stories and stuff, but a lot of their stuff is monochromatic as well. So those help sometimes when referencing for color stories. But P. Louise is a brand where it's hard for me to really have palettes with these type color stories, because, like, honestly, like this color story I haven't seen from P. Louise just in a basic palette. P. Louise palettes, this is the Book of Spells Hocus Pocus Regain Focus book. Okay, their palettes are books, literally. But this one I did want to show because it's two-sided, right? So this palette has two sides, or this book has two sides, and as you can see, this side has a lot of orange, red, and pink, right? So of course I can definitely get the orange and yellow and goldy tone, and even like bricky red and purple from this side of this book. And then this other side of the book has like beautiful greens and purples and even a pop of blue. So as you can see, I can definitely get the green vibe. If I wanted to mix some purple in with it, I can. But for sure, this book palette has same vibe, same colors in it. Okay, I can do this same look with that book. So yeah, I mean, this is just a really impromptu video, you guys. Nothing much to see here, nothing much to see. Keeping it brief, keeping it short, but I just wanted to pop in with you guys. You know, when I am feeling better, when I am feeling more like myself and more upbeat, just to come and say hi to you guys and talk about makeup. That's what I'm here for, right? I want to talk about makeup with you guys. So let me know, do you guys have some of these palettes? Are you guys in love with this color story? Is it making you feel like fall is here already when it's not? Because for me, it definitely is, and I'm loving it. I'm looking for, if you guys see green and orange and purple looks for the next 5 looks, don't be surprised, because honey, I'm loving it right now. Okay, so I think I want to do purple though. I'm really in the mood for a purple look. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me to just kind of explore this color story in my collection. Let me know what palettes you guys have, because maybe it's some other palettes I need to be looking at. I doubt it. And also, if you have been fighting purchasing some of these color stories that have been coming out. Okay, so, and let me know, are there some other color stories you want me to visit? Because if I have more, you know, than about 2 or 3 of them, I will visit them and show you the palettes I have. So I'll stop rambling, you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, and I'll see you on my next video. Toodles!